The demo feature in CSGO is hell. I can't imagine how it could have been designed any worse. What you want it to be like is a movie where you can skip through to any bit you like almost in an instant. But what it's actually like is a series of frames called ticks. There are typically 64 of these a second. Each of these ticks documents everything about that moment in the game. Not just where people are stood, but also where they're aiming, any deployed grenades, dropped weapons, bits of debris, whether windows are smashed, what skins are being used, and so on. That's an awful lot of information, and you can't just jump to the tick you want. It has to scrub through them, one by one, to ensure consistency. That's why you aren't able to start a new demo recording if a smoke grenade's active. But what this means for the demo playback feature is that when you skip forward a round, it has to load every tick in the current round first, which can take 5 or 6 seconds. Worse still, if you want to go back, it can't go back, so instead has to load it all from the start again. That can take a bit longer. And if a demo is recorded in 128 tick, that immediately doubles how many ticks it needs to read through. As an example of how bad this can be, in this match last year, jumping straight to the 20th round took almost 3 minutes. And that's just for 20 rounds. Imagine if there had been overtime. But even in this instance, that's nearly 3 minutes of me being stuck, sat there thinking that the game might have crashed. Even I, somebody who knows how to use this feature, and who has been using it for about 15 years, I still get a feeling of dread when I have to load a demo, because I know it's going to be fucking painful. But finally, Valve has improved it. A bit. I always wondered when a new round starts, why doesn't it just immediately jump to that and go from there? It's not like anything needs to be remembered because the entire level has been reset. Seems this new update doesn't go quite that far. It's only available in beta mode for now, and if you don't think it matters to you, the chances are it won't. Instead of changing how demos play, it just adds keyframes to the ones that you watch. To enable this feature, not only must the game be running in beta mode, but you also need to type into the console the command demo_index1. With this now enabled, the first time you view a demo, it will still be as bad as ever. But if you skip right through to the end, it will create a number of replay points to make it faster the next time you want to skip through it. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like it makes a point every time a new round starts, which would make a whole lot of sense. It's still not ideal, but it reduces the time from 3 minutes to being more like 3 to 5 seconds. And you can see it works for GoTV recordings as well as standard POV ones. It memorises these points even if you reload the demo or restart the game, which is odd because it doesn't update the demo file itself. Instead, it's stored in, I kid you not, DIX files, in a new folder within CSGO's directory. How many it remembers likely depends on this other new console command, though even when that's set to just 1, it will still happily remember dozens for the demo you're currently viewing. I had a look at one of these DIX files, and doing so gave me the second bout of PTSD I've experienced today, because back when I was 8 and viewing files on the Atari, I used to think this was a programming language that I'd need to learn if I ever wanted to make my own game. But at least hidden within this jumbled mess is the name of every unique skin and bit of debris that's recorded. Even stuff like the sound of chickens and whether the sound of a grenade being equipped is being played. So it gives you an idea of the stupid number of things that need to be remembered at every point in a Counter-Strike match. Why did they ship this change? Is it to help the lives of YouTubers? Or is it just to cut down on the freeze at the start of every Overwatch demo that we watch? I don't know. But I do know the demo playback feature is still a deeply flawed system. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that Valve has finally improved this, but I'm disappointed that they didn't go further still. What they're doing here doesn't fix the issue, it merely covers it up, and you still have to endure the same first bout of suffering before you start to reap the benefits of an optimised demo. It will really help people who heavily edit a single demo, a going low in CSGO match, for instance. But it won't help people who just want to skip to the end of a demo to record an awesome ace or whatever, because they're still going to have to load through the whole demo in the first place to get there. Yesterday, I asked what you wanted to see from future game updates. I didn't even consider changes to the demo feature, but personally, this helps me more than most other changes I can think of. This demo playback feature has been the bane of my existence since 2004. It has consumed literally days of my life, just sat there waiting for ticks to load. I honestly want them to burn it all down and to build a better system, because it needs it. There are third-party programs that can instantly flick to any moment in a demo. I'm sure they make more compromises and that there might be slight discrepancies, but those programs are still far more desirable than the game's built-in feature. I'm still not happy with it, even with all the DIX files in the world. But, for all its flaws, the demo viewer in CSGO shows an accurate representation of what occurred within the match itself. The fact that Valve is so keen to avoid any discrepancies between the match and what's shown in the demo file could be one of two things. Either they're too lazy to make the system better, or it's because they're deathly scared of the demo playback being anything less than a 100% accurate representation of what occurred within the original match. Remember, the Overwatch system relies on these demos to dish out bans to players, based on what these demos show. That's a lot of responsibility to get it right. So while it is a ball ache to work with CS demo playback, even with DIX files everywhere, we can at least trust the demo to show us what happened. If it started taking shortcuts, it could risk displaying differences. Early viewers of yesterday's video will have noticed it had corrupted video clips. This was a deliberate demonstration of what corrupt demo playback could be like. If you don't get the information right, the discrepancies will only get worse as time goes on, leading to a playback that's neither accurate nor trustworthy. Videos work by having keyframes at the start of new sequences, and then they just shift all that information around for as long as they can to save on file size. The better the encoding, the further apart these keyframes are, which means once I've compressed my videos I can't jump to any bit of it I like anymore, only to the start of each new sequence. It makes it more of a pain to scrub through, but it makes the file sizes so small. It just means that if for whatever reason the playback gets corrupted, the result is catastrophic and lasts for quite a while before the next keyframe can clean it up again. There's an entire subreddit dedicated to this effect, where they deliberately break video files with hilarious and frequently terrifying results. Have fun, and sweet dreams.